imagine this. You're loading groceries in your car at Walmart and suddenly a man points a gun at you and demands to give him all of your belongings. In this instance, would you rather be defenseless or would you rather have a gun? Today, I will be informing you on the importance of the Second Amendment and how gun control is an ineffective way to control violence. Some people think the solution to stop gun violence is to take away guns. However, violence won't stop by taking away guns, it will only increase the violence. The right to bear arms was given to Americans so they can protect themselves, if necessary, overthrow the government. The Second Amendment is in the Bill of Rights, which is a list of rights given to the citizens of the United States. The Second Amendment states, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep their arms and bear arms shall not be infringed." The Second Amendment protects two separate rights, the right to keep arms and the right to bear arms. In an article concerning the Second Amendment, it states that people who have a need to keep guns in their homes use the guns for both self-protection as well as to maintain readiness against a threat to public peace. America taking away all guns would infringe upon American civil rights, violate the Constitution, and allow the government to become a dictatorship. Outlawing guns makes citizens of the United States vulnerable from attack from criminals and from the government. As a nation founded upon revolution, America cannot allow the government to strip them of their rights. Individual ownership of guns was purposefully put in the Bill of Rights to ensure the government would not overrun the people. If America takes away guns, it takes away violence. This is simply not true. Since guns are a deadly weapon, some people think that eliminating them would stop the violence. Nevertheless, this will not work because making guns illegal only applies to those who abide by the law. Gun control makes an easy prey out of law-abiding citizens. Gun-free zones are a danger in that they result in people being forced to be victims. President Donald Trump said this after a college shooting in 2015. Let me tell you, if you had a couple teachers with guns in that room, you would have been a hell of a lot better off. If the school district allowed armed teachers, they would have to go through a gun safety course and be educated in any situation they may face to protect themselves and protect the students. One NRA lobbyist, Aaron Looper, said, "College campuses as gun-free zones present an environment where murderers, rapists, and other criminals may commit crimes without fear of being harmed by their victims. Criminals will already be armed, and a gun-free zone does not change that. The only people guaranteed to be safe in a gun-free zone is the criminal. If gun ownership is illegal, the criminals will not turn in their guns, and they will have the upper hand to law-abiding citizens. The reason for violence will not stop if America takes away guns. Making hard drugs illegal has not changed the fact that they are readily available, and the increase in drugs is still on the rise. These lawbreakers will buy guns illegally, endangering the weak and defenseless. Unfortunately, this flawed logic that taking away guns will decrease violence is nothing more than a comforting idea. A study in 2000 stated that Americans use guns to defend themselves from crime and violence 989,883 times annually. Banning guns would leave about 1 million Americans defenseless from criminals who have no problem acquiring guns illegally. Restricting firearms for public self-defense does not make citizens safer. It makes them targets. Lott, who is a professor at the State University of New York, said that when laws create gun-free zones, you unintentionally make it safer for the criminal because there's less for them to worry about. One statistic by the Gun Owners of America, or the GOA, states that 3/5 of felons polled agreed that a criminal is not going to mess around with a victim he knows is armed with a gun. Criminals understand that good people with guns are going to try to defend themselves and defend others. The GOA has a statistic about self-defense with guns that states, guns used 2.5 million times a year in self-defense. Law-abiding citizens use guns to defend themselves against criminals as many times as 2.5 million times every year, or about 6,850 times a day. This means that each year, firearms are used more than 80 times more often to protect the lives of honest citizens than to take lives. The statistic carries on saying that of the 2.5 million times citizens use their guns to defend themselves every year, the overwhelmingly majority merely brandish their gun or fire a warning shot to scare off their attackers. Less than 8% of the time, a citizen will kill or wound his attacker. This shows that guns save more lives than they take, and they prevent more injuries than they inflict. National Crime Victimization Survey data shows that victims who resist an armed robber with a gun are less likely to be injured than those who do not carry. In conclusion, the solution to stop gun violence is not to take guns away from innocent people. One of the reasons for owning a gun is for protection. Without gun control, law-abiding citizens have a better advantage over criminals. With gun control, a victim of a home invasion would have to wait 10 to 15 minutes before help arrives, and the victim would be at the mercy of the attacker. Having a firearm ready can provide the defense people require during those crucial minutes. Without a gun ban and proper education on guns, violence would decrease. However, with a gun ban, more criminals would act violently because they are not held to the law and will be able to prey on law-abiding citizens easily. I used 5 sources from Gun Owners of America, Encyclopedia of Gun Control and Gun Rights, the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, Gun Violence, and CQ